Remy para que el sol lo brille. Te juego fútbol, también te suelto mi fraseo. Se me hace fácil cuando suena este perreo. Andamos lo que somos, nunca con fariseo. Que le dedique goles es lo que ella me pide y nos montamos en este Remy para que el sol lo brille. Te juego fútbol, también te suelto mi fraseo. Se me hace fácil cuando suena este perreo. Andamos lo que somos, nunca con fariseo. Que le dedique goles es lo que ella me pide y nos montamos en este Remy para que el sol lo brille. Te juego fútbol, también te suelto mi fraseo. Se me hace fácil cuando suena este perreo. Andamos lo que somos, nunca con fariseo.
Parceros. Uy, bro.
Oh, my bad, bro. My bad.
Yo, I thought Andy was gonna start the show like this.
Payaso, kill me.
Parceros, welcome to the Parceros Take episode 24 with Andy Deossa. Andy, thank you for joining us today. All aboard La Lorenzoneta. We're gonna be analyzing some of the Venezuela game, the subs, what we thought about it, Chile preview, and for this upcoming match on Tuesday in Santiago. But yeah, parceros, thank you for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe. Please comment, questions, anything you want. If you want to compliment our shirts or say, Danny, why are you wearing that?
Porque le vamos a ganar, porque vamos a ganarle a la América. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, parceros? Parceros already checking in. You already know what's up. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. Excited. A lot to talk about. I feel like the energy's kind of good today. What do you think, Andy? Energy, we up right now?
It was good when you were wearing the red shirt you wear before we started recording. We decided to change. It wasn't a Medellin shirt, but he was wearing the red shirt.
About.
It looked good, and then he decided to put that color on, but it wasn't.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, parceros, thank you for tuning in. Colombia, off to
Venezuela.
A great start. On the right foot, we beat Venezuela for their Clásico. I know not for us, because, you know, it's just another match for us. But 1-0 in Barranquilla. Gol de Rafael Santo Borré.
El que no hace goles. El que no hace goles. According to Andy.
Aquí nunca dudamos.
El ex Deportivo Cali. Cali. Hey, first of all, what was the lineup? What do you guys think about the lineup?
Lineup, I'll show it real quick. Danny almost guessed it.
Man, I told you. This is what I like about Lorenzo.
I like this view. I like this view better. ¿Cómo hago para? Nah. Hey, but yeah, Danny almost guessed it. Lineup, pretty much what we predicted, with the exception of Mina.
He literally came out the same thing as Germany. And this is something that I think hopefully we'll continue to see. That, and this is what I like about Lorenzo. It's like it's part of his process. He's finding out what are his the men that he's trying to, you know, depend on, and he's not going to change anything. If it's not broken, you don't fix it. That's what I like about it. Yeah, it's his base, man. I like that.
Andy, what were your first initial impressions on the lineup when it came out?
I agree. I think that you're starting to notice, like, Lorenzo has his guys, right? And a lot of coaches have those players that are like, you know, these are their guys. And obviously, we talked about who was going to start at striker, and we all believed it was going to be Borré. And some of us didn't want that or didn't think that was the best option.
Some of us is a lot of people.
Hey, man, I like that. But no, the thing is this, right? You have a process. You have an idea of the players you like. I didn't necessarily think the lineup was the best that I would have put out, but I think it was smart. The only question mark to me was starting with Mateus Uribe, but at the end of the day, the way that the lineup was presented and the way that they actually played was two different things, and that's what it kind of comes down to, where, like, Colombia has this ability to move these pieces around. Depending on who's on the field to start the game, they have the ability to move these pieces around, where players are not married to a certain position. And I think we saw that early, where, you know, Cuadrado just naturally floated to his own position. Arias was kind of like doing a little bit of both, and that gave Uribe some space to go up and down. So I thought the lineup was fine. I like the 4-3, honestly. I think it takes a little bit of pressure off of the striker, like I mentioned in the last show, because we have such a talented core, a group of wingers and people on the sides that can play really well with the striker. So I'm with it. I'm with the 4-3. I like I said, I prefer a different lineup, but I think for this group it works for sure.
Yeah, I really like the reincorporation of Arias in the midfield. I think for me, MVP of the game. For y'all,
Nice.
y'all agree? Same man of the match.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Ida y vuelta, la garra que le metía, la precisión. la asistencia que le metió a Rafael Sanson Borré, como con la mano. For me, man of the match, obviously should start on Tuesday. I think he's a fundamental piece for this base Lorenzo is building. What do you guys think of Cuadrado? You know, he subbed off at the half. Not his best game.
I mean, I know Cuadrado might catch a lot of slack just because he was the man that came off, and after he came off, you know, the team started moving around. He started moving well. I don't think it's necessarily the Cuadrado per se. I think we had a slow first half. We didn't have anyone that connected the midfield, and that's what Carrascal does. It's the connector from the back line to the middle to the wingers. I think in general, when it comes to the 4-3-3, the reason the 4-3-3 works, it's because we spread the field, and it's something that we did do. We did spread the field, but at the same time, if we only play from one side, it's gonna be too predictable, and that's why Venezuela was able to shut it down a little bit. The moment that we moved the ball around to the other side, it was way too slow. We'll be literally dragging the ball from one side to the other, and that's when we need the men's like Carrascal to really grab the ball and boom, like literally the moment, the times in the first half that we were Cuadrado actually played well was when he received the ball quickly from one side to the other. Then he was able to cross. He made like one or two crosses that weren't bad, but I think we were just as a whole, we're moving the ball way too slow.
Too slow, yeah, and that's why I agree with El Hombre Ed here. Thank you for tuning in. Our midfield needed to be more creative, and that's why I had Quintero starting in the midfield. You know, with the absence of Carrascal, because we saw that Carrascal arrived late in Barranquilla to camp, so he was in doubt if he was going to play or not. That's why I had Quintero in the lineup. And, you know, like you said, Danny, once he came in, we needed that person that connected the dots, connected the defense to the midfield to the offense. And Carrascal's a guy who can play one or two touches and you're in, like we saw with the goal in the second half. Literally, like on the first play, 18 seconds into the second half, insane.
I think let me jump in real quick about Carrascal. Like, I think if he would have gotten to the camp on time, he probably starts his game
1000%.
And then you either see, I would assume Uribe is the odd man out there, and maybe you put Cuadrado in this spot, and that's what I initially thought with the sub at halftime was going to be, because we talked about, we knew Venezuela was going to defend. We knew we were going to have to feel out and see, like,
it seemed like he was injured.
But normal, like we mentioned before too, like the team has options to be able to kind of change that. And if Carrascal starts that game, you know, the criticism was what we all saw. They started slow. They weren't getting any shots off. And it's like, if Carrascal starts that game, you're looking at a completely different approach with a midfielder like Danny mentioned that could be able to link up play and kind of change his thing. So I think I agree with Diego. I was thinking Uribe was the first sub off, but if Cuadrado, you know, if it was something more of a fatigue or injury thing, for sure. But having that option to be able to kind of give that second look to it is good, because you mentioned that the 4-3-3 works if you have connective play in the midfield. If your midfield is able to kind of link that, then the 4-3-3 is always going to be solid for you if you have, you know, the right midfielders on the field. If you don't, then it's going to be like very stagnant, because you see one side where abusing Lucho and go run, do whatever you want one-on-one, and it looks good. And then the other side, you like, what's going on over there? Like, we're not getting the same kind of production from that. And then that's when you kind of get stuck. You said Venezuela's keying in. Because I thought for as many opportunities that Lucho had to go and break loose, Venezuela defended it pretty well. I thought they defended him pretty well. It's because they probably knew that, like, this is where the amount of the offense is going to come from on one side. So to me, it's the 4-3-3 works if you do have a creative. But I knew Quintero wasn't going to start that game. Bro, do you see how gassed they were in that first half? I'm like, Quintero might have died on that field. And secondly, the people in Barranquilla were probably waiting to cuss him out and boo him because of what he did to them in junior. So I would have loved to see him start. But yeah, like, we have Carrascal, we have Quintero, we have James, and then, like we talked about the other day, we have Yacet, who also kind of factors in as one of those players. So, bro, for a position that is very traditionally has always been really important to Colombia and to the game in South America, we got some weapons in there, man.
We do, and we got to field them, man. Like, Uribe should have been the sub off.
But I gotta ask you,
I think
are you guys saying he's a sub off because you didn't like the way he played?
No, well, twofold. Yes,
I wanna make that clear.
We knew Colombia was. We knew,
because on the group chat you guys were talking about Uribe too. So I want to make it very clear, like,
we knew Colombia was going to be on the front foot. We knew que Venezuela no iba a proponer mucho en el ataque. Lerma could hold down the midfield by himself. Uribe sobraba. And Uribe, every ball he touched was a pass back to Mina, to Lucumí,
But see,
to Daniel Muñoz, que no tienen
to be
salida.
honest, like I could say the same on in that case. I could say the same about Mina. To me, Mina looked very shaky in his decision making and how he passed the ball through the back. Like if you're
Right.
gonna talk about Uribe,
but Jerry has never been a ball playing center
I was
back.
gonna say he's always been that way, man.
But that's the way we have to. That's the way we have to play. We
No,
knew
for
it,
sure.
and that's exactly what Venezuela forced us to do, especially without a Carrascal.
For sure. But if like the way that I'm looking at it is this: like if you have Uribe on there, you have a player like Cuadrado who is able to take the ball up, without a problem. If you start that line without Uribe, you're fine if you have Cuadrado there on that line with Arias, because like you said, Lerma's gonna be able to hold that down, and you have players that are gonna be, when you have all the space in the midfield, which is what Venezuela was given Colombia. That's the part that I was like, why is Uribe not progressing as much as he should? And when he did progress, I don't think he was confident enough in that, like, I don't want to say final third because he never really got that far besides a few times. But I don't think he was confident enough to be like, yo, we need to take some of these chances. Because I think he was always thinking like, we might get caught in a counterattack and I got to get back. And I think for that lineup in that situation, it's hard because you are always thinking like, yo, I got to, I think he had one play where he did like an obvious foul because he knew he was going to get burnt on the counter. But that's the risk you take. Whereas, like, if you have Cuadrado there, it's like, yo, if you want to stay put, stay put. If you want to go forward, go forward. But to me, it's because Cuadrado's a lot more confident going forward that he gives a little more boost in the offensive end, which is what Colombia needed initially in that first 45.
No, I say that because if you guys notice, Lorenzo he rates Barrios, not Barrios, I'm sorry. He rates Uribe very highly.
He likes him.
He likes him a lot. He's been a starter almost in all of the friendlies, including once Cuadrado came off, he even got the captain band. So I know you guys like say Uribe.
No, and I like him as a player. I think he's a good player, but I just think in that moment I would have definitely. I don't think I wouldn't have started him, and I also thought he was going to be the first sub off. But it's not that I dislike him. I think he's a solid player. I just think it's certain game situations that benefit his ability more than others.
100%. And also he tends to linger forward a little bit. And then, he likes to he doesn't come back as much. And that's what Lerma has to compensate. I agree. I just want to make that clear.
Saludito allá a Viros. What's up? Your favorite Barranquillero is here.
Oh, what's up, parcero? Uy. Del Junior? Uy, parce, Junior. ¿Vieron? That was an overkill.
Like Andy said, menos mal que no metieron a Quintero, bro.
Yo,
Facts.
I already know they was ready to boo him over there, man.
Facts.
No, but it looked like it did look like it was, the conditions were getting to them early, man. It looked like it was tough out there, like, especially because, these players are going at 1,000. And it's the thing that we've always talked about, like, with them playing in Barranquilla. Like, I don't even know if it's a benefit for some of our players anymore because of where they play in their clubs. Like, bro, some of them dudes, like, hurt, but
we didn't look as gasted, though, right?
No, for sure.
Right?
Like, I've seen them look way worse out there.
Yeah, exactly. So it didn't seem like it to me, like Barranquilla, it seemed like it didn't affect us. Afterwards, the players did say it was extremely hot, but I didn't see, I wouldn't see, like the legs that, the hurt legs or the cramps or anything that we've seen in the past.
No, not that, and that's a promising sign when you have players that are, that are playing in these tough conditions and they're able to kind of still go all in, because Lucho never slowed down. I mean, he's used to that out there, but there's a few players that were just all in and not stopping, so it's definitely a good sign.
Que apretadera de culo, bro. In the first half of those 2 free headers we gave Venezuela, and we said it on the previous episode. They're strong in the air. Rondon.
Dangerous.
Jose. Yeah. Well, Jose didn't have many chances, but in the first half, set pieces was a problem for Colombia. We were lucky not to go down, and if we would have gone down, ahí se nos complica, bro. Bastante.
Which is I feel like what helped out the second half is just getting that first goal, starting the first half, starting out strong. I love the way Carrascal went, looked for the ball, boom, made the switch. You can see Arias on the right side. What a monster, bro. Receives, waits for the overlap, cross, y parce. El ex Deportivo Cali, weón. I don't know if did you guys remember the Brazil Falcons? Did you guys see that TikTok or that comparison that was going all over Reels and TikToks of the Brazil game? Colombia Brazil in Barranquilla, where James did el taco and Arias crossed it and Falcao scored the header? Bro, it looked. Bro, you guys gotta watch that video. It's literally Borré gave me Falcao vibes, bro. The way he headed it in, everything like
the snap of the neck. Oof.
big
Falcao
vibes. Big Falcao. And actually, I was at that game in Barranquilla. That's why. That's why I was like, and I remember I was like, it looked familiar, bro.
Damn, all that just to say you went to.
I had to drop that. Heck of a match. 101. It was beautiful. I recommend it.
Yeah.
No, pero sí, big Borré. Like, man. Borré, how would you guys rate Borré's game?
No, es que a ese man nunca se le ha negado que el motor es único. Man. Ese man le pone cualquier gótica azul que tenga, le pone la camisa. That's one thing that he's always been that player. He's never going to stop. And, you know, if you're a striker in a moment that you're, you know, new team, you're trying to pick up some form, some playing time, some confidence, this is going to go a long way, not only just for Colombia, but for him as an individual. That's going to benefit us in the long run, too.
Yeah, he played a great game. Out of all the players on the field, I think he's que más le mete huevos es Borré. Lucha todas las pelotas. Y John Arias también, pero Borré es algo... He's the best pressing forward in Conmebol in South America, I think. He's very underrated. He's very versatile. And we saw, you know, he's not the biggest guy in the area, but he can always find space. And once he finds space and he gets service, la manda a guardar.
I will say this, because I want to mention both sides before Danny starts getting crazy again. If he had rhythm, we would have scored that goal that Lucho Diaz was offside, because it was the easiest 1-2 ever. And he took, 3-4 seconds a little too long. And if he had rhythm, that's an easy 1-0. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's him, but if he was in game flow the way that he, should be, that's an easy 1-2 at that.
Andy, to be honest, I'm 1,000% with you.
Yeah.
I'm 1,000% with you. And that's what I was gonna say. And that's what I was gonna say. You could tell he lacks playing time. You know what I mean? Because he should have released that ball right away. Lucho, and that would have been a goal. But and I feel like that's gonna come, you know what I mean, with time. Number one, number two, like I think he's gonna be better against Chile. We didn't really serve him much. He didn't receive that ball that much the first half. So I think that plays a lot to it as well. Pero se quitó la sal, because at the end of the day, that was his first goal in eliminatorias. I did not know that. I did not know that. I did not know he had.
I remember we played at Chile and he had a really bad miss where he hit the post. He was like 1-on-1 with Borja. Borja sent him through against Chile in Barranquilla. I think it was in October. And hit the post. But no, I'm glad for him, man. I'm glad for him because he's been through a lot recently. Being disrespected at Frankfurt. But now he's at Werder, as Vito was saying here. So yeah, hopefully he gets some playing time. And then, I'm excited. What do you guys think of James? James' role, this new role with James.
I'll let Andy take this one.
Yo lo vi normal. I think he came in and looked decent. Like I don't think he was gonna take over the game at any moment at that time. But I think he went in, connected a few passes, got a few runs in. I didn't expect anything crazy from him in that moment. But I'm gonna stay on this hill, and you guys know it. Like if you have a player like that coming into a game in the 60th minute, 70th minute, Bobby, that talent and it's on my here, I'll take it. Like because it could be one quick play, two quick plays, and he's giving you a goal chance or lining up a shot. So I think right now he's just the same thing, getting his reps in, getting his legs back under him. But the same way we said with Sao Paulo, like he's starting to show like okay. Like
he's showing that air. It's a new air.
If he keeps going in that direction, then it's gonna be hard for Lorenzo to be like, bro, I can't not have him on the field at some point, right? Like I need to get him in the game at some capacity. I'm still not gonna say he deserves to be a starter the way that the squad is right now. But if you're looking at the bench and you need somebody, that's first dude off the bench. Like, come on, let's do it. Let's see what you got for this little bit of time. So I'll give him a formidable thumbs up.
Talking about that ball. That ball was to
Duran.
To Arias or
Duran.
Así la mete.
I read
he should have slowed it down.
A comment that was like the pinnacle of El Pibe's career. The ball to Frei Rincon is a normal pass for James.
It's simple, and that's the thing. And it's like
the
what?
pinnacle.
Oh, no, pinnacle, no, not the pinnacle tampoco.
Hold
The
on,
pinnacle
what?
of it. That's what I saw. The
No,
pinnacle
No,
of
no, no, no,
Viva's
no, no.
career was that
Yo.
ball.
I thought that's what you were. Oh, okay.
No,
You read
no,
it.
no.
You read it somewhere. Oh my, yo, parce, apaguen y nos vamos para la casa. We should not be.
Nah, the pinnacle, that's disrespectful, bro. That's super disrespectful.
Yo. The guy was born. Yo, my guy was born in 2014. He's seen one.
He was born in Brazil, bro.
No,
I don't know, that's why
he looked like a FIFA player. But not James. You mentioned at some point Lorenzo has to play him, right? Put him on the field at some point, and I think that's what's key. And this is why I like about what I'm liking, what I'm seeing about this team and Lorenzo's mindset. What's our biggest obstacle when James went in?
All right, you told me.
Defensively, he's always a
Oh,
liability.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, what's a biggest obstacle? You know, the magic up top, he's gonna have it. You know what I mean? He's gonna play at least one pass, but he's a liability defensively. So what did Lorenzo do? He played him at false 9. So where we take away that liability, and we still have, and he's still playing, and he's still providing for the team and not hurting us. And that's why I think it's gonna be key that's gonna be key for James to that I think he's leaning into himself in this new playing style of Lorenzo, that he's gonna be coming off the bench and he is not the main guy anymore. That's my opinion. I think Quintero is kind of, Quintero tiene un poquito más entrega que James, but I think that's where we're going for when this new playing style of Lorenzo.
Yeah, that partnership maybe in the future, maybe Copa America 24, Duran or James playing off of Duran, 4-4-2 up top. I mean, that could be something that's very interesting. But right now, people are chat saying that his new rules on the bench playing Parceros Quintero.
Pecho frío, no. Ahora es de pecho frío.
Hey, there was another. He had another at the end. He had a little. I think he had a chance that he gave Lucho like towards the end of the game too. Okay, it was close too. Es que James, he's gonna connect play. He's gonna connect play, and that's as simple as it gets. Pero like you're saying, more comes with just having him on the field. And we've talked about the process he's gone through. He's needed to go through a little bit of humbling. Like Ed says it. He does like that pace, but that talent no se pierde. And if you need, once again, if you're in a rut, at the end of the day, we need to score, right? Like my chats with my other friends were like, "Ah, que chimba que ganamos, pero que malos que no meten goles." I'm like, yo, one step at a time, because it took us, how many games we didn't score one goal. Never mind, like, yeah, sure, we should have scored a few more, but that's what people want to see now from Colombia. Like, let's take these steps. And having James on the field to be a creator is never a bad option in my book.
I expected the game to open up a lot more after the 1-0, but Venezuela, I guess they stuck to like their mid block. The way they were playing, it was like they didn't allow for any more spaces than they did.
I mean, technically the game did open up. I mean, Lucho had that one chip that should have been a goal. Lucho was killing.
That was before the goal.
Destroyed. No, in the second half, after Lucho was killing that left side in the second half, bro. Yeah. And I feel like the game did open up through Carrascal. I think the way we were moving the ball, we were breaking. I think we broke lanes. We just couldn't finish. I mean, like we said, that pass to Duran had time to just wait for reinforcement and passing. I think that shot was premature, in my opinion.
That brings a question: do you guys think Duran is ready?
That's all I did.
Nah, not yet. Not as long as El Comandante is still there.
I think he's ready at his role. I mean, he's not even a winger. He was playing at a winger. He showed sacrifice. He showed hunger. He's quick, man. He was fast. That decision right there, I don't think he should. That wasn't. I don't think that was the right decision. So that kind of shows, man, he still got some time. But at 9. I think he starts after Borrell.
And it's good for him to get these reps in, man. Like, he's a young kid. It's early on in the process for him in his new club career, where he's already on a different pedestal. But it's good for him to get these reps in little by little with Colombia, to get these chances to kind of keep growing and keep maturing. He's going to see different things, and if he scores that goal, Parce, it's a whole different, we're having a different conversation.
My boy Richard Pardo, he's on FIFA Street mode.
Why are we behind, bro?
Carrascal, Quintero, y James, bro. Maybe like on a 5 side. Like on
I don't know, maybe, bro.
I embrace the chaos, bro. Imagine
that'd be crazy though.
A hockey line change with them three.
They're gonna be moving that ball around.
You're gonna have them three up top, and then like just everybody else on defense.
So, as far as the game, what do you guys think? The good, the bad, the ugly.
Lo bueno, empieza Andy.
Lo bueno que se ganó. It's as simple as that. Lo bueno is the 3 points because I tweeted it after the game. The important thing was just to win this game, right? It's the first one of the qualifiers. It's at home after coming off of the disaster from the last cycle. And like I mentioned, you want to score more, you want to see different things, but at the end of the day, you need to win that game. It's 3 points that it's a good confidence booster for them to start this process under Lorenzo, and it got nervy a little bit in that first half, and you're like, oh man, we're starting to have flashbacks of what this was kind of like, but you see that there's quality on this team, and we've said the same thing over and over. They just need to show it. So the good to me was that, and the hunger that I saw from Luis Diaz, and we talked about him being the most important player on this team now. He's playing like that now. Like, I'm not saying he never did it before, but you could clearly see he's taking that burden of like, yo, I know this is kind of my team. I'm the guy. It's me and them. And he was hungry, man. Like, you saw his anger when he was coming off the game that he didn't score. Like, you saw how mad he was when Borré didn't give him that pass on time that he got called offside for. You saw certain plays that you're like, dude, this guy's ready to dribble through 3 people if he has to and make it happen. And
in his post game,
sometimes it's a little to his detriment because he does a little too much, but that's fine. He's gonna learn with that. But that hunger that I saw from him, I'm like, oh, this is a different monster right now. And he's in that moment that you could definitely tell. So that to me is the 2 things that stood out.
Chat, guys in the chat, put qué fue lo bueno del partido for you guys.
Hablen.
Danny, what was it bueno?
The good, Lorenzo. Like I said, everything we've been saying, we saw exactly. We think too much alike, bro. Okay, we literally, you asked me, so I gotta say Lorenzo because we're seeing the process. We predicted the lineup, it didn't work, so boom, he brings Carrascal in and move Arias to the right, and that's exactly what the team needed. Boom, goal. You know what I mean? So he's his ability to read the game, the way he has the team playing. Yo, I see a premier, like a Premier League type play where everyone's sacrificing, everybody goes up, everyone goes down. A very well balanced
European
team on all lines. A very European like play, which it's at an elite level, which is something that I feel like we've been lacking. That's why James, when we talk about James, Quintero, Magnelli, Torres, Abelito Aguilar, like, come on, bro. I feel like he's taking us out of that and he's bringing in literally an elite style of play. And to me, Lorenzo is our first good.
For me, the answer is simple. I don't need to say any words. Simply, gracias, comandante, la máquina.
Aquí nunca dudamos.
Pero ya borré, and then I would say John Arias, or the 2 for la entrega. Me gusta en la selección que pongan huevos, man.
Yo, was that Rondon that Arias knocked down? Like, yo, he went up head to head against somebody, and
in like the 70th minute, like it was late in the match. Like Arias had been running up and down the field the whole match, and then big bodies Rondon to take the ball away, win the foul. But yeah, que dice Richard dice we got the W, clean sheet. Hopefully a new star is born, Arias. I like that. Lo malo, muchachos.
Lo malo.
That's a tough one. I guess it's to the same point. Lo malo would be that there's still moments that we should be capitalizing on more, and that's kind of being nitpicky off that first game. But once again, that pass to Diaz gets made on time. It's an early 1-0, and now you're like, all right, man. Now we're breathing. Because I think you did see Colombia in that first half kind of like a little too nervous. Like, we need to score to kind of just like get this started, to settle into the game. And it's like, once again, Borré is not in game flow, but he makes that pass 1-0. We could be talking about a 3-0. We could be talking about a different score line. So that's just, like I said, being nitpicky. But it's
no.
For Venezuela, you could get away with it, but
Exactly.
you get into certain games, certain moments that you're like, you're gonna need to capitalize on those opportunities. And we didn't have too many of them in the first half, but there is that next step that needs to be taken. Like, we know we could score now. Let's be dominant. Let's not just 1-0 our way through this, because I'll take the 1-0 our way all the way to 2026. I'll take it. Don't get me wrong.
1,000%.
You want to see that next step in the natural progression. So I'll say that for Lo Malo.
Yeah, we don't want to be taking out the calculator, apretando full. Danny, Lo Malo.
Lo Malo, I would say, the ball movement playing out the back in the first half. I think the first 10 minutes, bro, it looked shaky, man. Like, I think Lucumí and Mina were like this at one point. They had to pass the ball back. I don't know. I just think, like Andy said, against a solid team that presses, that it's elite, it's not gonna give us chances, and it va a vacunar, bro. We cannot have that. So I think that's Lo Malo. That's something that has to be worked, and by Tuesday, that can't happen Tuesday, and we'll talk about that later on the episode.
Lo Malo para mí, Uribe, Daniel Muñoz, Machado, Jerry Mina y Lucumí en la salida, güey. Horrible, horrendos, like Danny said. But mostly Daniel Muñoz and Uribe saliendo, bro, is frustrating to watch. Really, tenía que ser de Nacional, sí, okay. Richard Pardo, el malo, necesitamos más goles. First qualifying World Cup 22 game against Venezuela, we won 3-0. Coach that got sacked quick. But I think this could have been a 3-0 as well.
That's complex.
This could have been
We'll talk about it another day.
No, that game, I think players were in a better moment. Also, the game was a little bit more open after that first goal Colombia scored. This could have been similar, but Venezuela defended well, and we didn't finish our chances. So, yeah, I guess finishing our chances as well. Munoz missed that sitter. That was so embarrassing. Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
What happened? I didn't even see the replay.
He got it looked like he just completely whiffed on the shot, man. Like, it was right there at his foot. Esa marica como que le pegó como ojos cerrados and completely missed.
It was that whole scenario was
muy raro.
Was weird.
Lo feo, Andy.
Lo feo. Esos hijueputas de Nacional. No, I don't know. That's a tough one, man, because I think all around it was a pretty solid performance to start. I was definitely kidding when I said the Mateus Uribe thing in the chat. I thought, I didn't think his game was terrible. I think
you better come on the record and say that. You better come on the record and say it, because he knows.
I can't give you all the gems in the group chat, bro. I can't give you all the gems in the group chat. Lo feo to me I think I would take the malo for you guys. Like, the distribution in Lo feo, I'm gonna take the whole first half in general. Is that kind of that mindset, right? The mentality of, like I mentioned, to the pressure. Like, they're home, they're ready, boom, 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 and you could tell like they were flustered really early on, and things were like just not.
They're shaking.
Easy.
It was shaking.
And it's like you don't have a reason to be. Like, you're clearly the superior team. You're at home. You're on the front foot most of that half, but you guys mentioned it off the top. You get caught in a few transitions, and there's a few balls over the top, and you're like, oh snap, we could have conceded a goal there really badly, and then we're nervous. So it's that, once again, the mentality of like, play to your ability, like be dominant, be confident, and that's going to come with time too, when you're switching. I think that back line is pretty good, but you guys mentioned that the distribution was not there, and that whole first half, it just felt very repetitive to what we know or what we've struggled with Colombia for the past years, where it's like, here we go again with this. I mean, luckily, like I think Ron mentioned it, luckily you get that goal right off rip at the second half, because if you sit on 10 15 minutes of that in the second half, then we're like, uy, papi, like, like, take the three.
Where's James? James?
Exactly. Where's Falcao? So,
and then we got Coach Hernandez like putting IG stories with a thinking face. And, it gets toxic. Yeah,
that's a game. It's
can
really
switch
a game
like this,
changer, man. Really a game changer. Because even one
No,
of my
and the whole crowd's gonna go sour. Like,
even one of my boys, like he was at halftime, like, oh, Adias, like he needs to, pick his head up a little bit. And it's funny because I'm like, bro, he picked his head up right away off the top, off rip, and that as soon as the second half started, and look what it resulted in. So I just think that is easy. We get very being super critical because we're wary of what the past was like. So feo to me is the mentality, and I feel like the swag almost, because you watch teams like obviously Brazil was playing in Bolivia, but they play with a different level of swag, bro. Like the confidence, Uruguay, like we'll talk about that game too, but they were getting at it, bro. Like they're right to it, and Colombia should always be on the same boat. So a little bit more of that stagnant and just more like to the point. Pero ahí va con tiempo.
What about
Daniel?
No,
Okay, I'll go. La gente de Barranquilla. Viro es lo único que me cae bien. Viro es lo único que me cae bien. Mentiras. Yo, the stadium didn't fill up, man. There were problems with seating. We have Lucho Diaz's family, which I don't want to talk much about, but come on. Is La Selección is the first match? Like, you gotta at least at the minimum fill up the stadium, even if there aren't chants or anything. But like, fill up the stadium.
I was gonna say the same thing. Even like the little chaos what happened with DJ Pope, where his people came down from Medellin to cheer. El parcero DJ Pope. We gotta put the picture next time. Anyway, but I don't know. I don't know about all that. Pero no, DJ Pope, for those of you who don't know, DJ Pope is J Balvin's DJ. He came down on a bus from Medellin, and he got jumped. He got jumped by I'm not gonna say what team's barra, but he got jumped, and it's supposed to be a festive environment, which is supposed to be we're supposed to be cheering for La Selección, and they literally took his 574 flags or whatever, and they literally stabbed somebody. So I think it was failed because that shouldn't be happening. We're all Colombians. We should be, supporting la tricolor.
Eso, epa, paz en
fútbol.
Fútbol en paz.
Maluma.
No a la guerra. Do you guys see how Rose chanted la arepa es colombiana?
Hey, papi, Magda llega de una chimba, parce, es un palo.
¿Cómo es que es, Andy? Cantando un poquito.
Magda llega. Come on, man. Qué palo,
un saludito a Luigi. Montería, Italia.
Activo. Saludos, pa.
Saludos a la gente del chat. So, are you guys satisfied with the win?
Claro que sí. Like I said, man, you always want to be montémonos que nos vamos, hijo de puta.
¿Se montan o no se montan?
Muchachos, se montan comentarios ya.
¿Se montan o no se montan?
De una. De aquí al martes ya muy tarde, parce.
Might be a buzz, but ¿se montan o no se montan? Parce, yo me monto. Yo en este me monto. Atrás de Lorenzo.
¿Te montas, bro?
Yo estaba en el de rueda, en esta parce.
Pues si estaba montado en el de rueda, imagínense en esto.
Yo no, si estábamos, we're hanging out.
Otro adentro. Nah, but the win is the win, right? Because we were making jokes about it after the game. Like in that moment, Colombia was, el líder. But it's when you see things, how the way things, played out in those 2 days, like, okay, order's restored. Like, we know Brazil's going to be good. Messi to the rescue. Uruguay there. Colombia right there where it should be too. So that's what I think you're happy with. You're satisfied with that. We got the win, and it gives you confidence going into that next game, because if you start this with a draw at home, then you're like, all right, man, this is going to be bad. Like, I don't know if we did this on the first episode. I don't remember, but like, so how many points did we theoretically think we were going to get from these 2 games? Like, I thought 4, like, coming in, but now I'm like, 6 all day. Like, I automatically changed that after that game.
Yeah, we're about to get humbled.
Yeah, no, relax.
Pues los chilenos está más caliente, güey.
Relax, yeah, bro.
Nah, but you gotta we talked about that. You gotta be, you gotta be confident.
No, overall, it was a good win. It was a good win. We expected more goals, but as a whole, the way we made changes, the way we adjusted, the way the team looked, it's a good win. All on board.
Yo me monto. Pero como quita esta mierda. Buen programa, muchas gracias, parcero.
Todo bien,
Gracias
pa.
por el saludito.
La yoga.
Are you guys doing a live after Chile? So good,
Obvio,
stepping stone
Bobbies. Obvio, Bobbies.
to our next topic, Chile.
Claro, Virus.
Muchachos.
Todo bien. Chile. ¿Cómo vieron? Perdieron contra Uruguay 3-1.
The reason I'm talking the way I am is because I watched the game and I mean, no me tramas de equipo. Like it's just very the same. They do the same all the time. It's the same game every time they play. It's so predictable. The blueprint is out there how to beat them, and Uruguay did exactly what they needed to do: attack these dudes until one of the balls rolls in behind the net. Because like every time I looked up, it was just like 6 Uruguay players running one way, and Chile just like trying to come back and like save themselves.
But why? Why were there 6 Uruguayan guys running and then Chile's guys coming back? Because they press. Because they press. Because they press high, and Uruguay knows how to move the ball out of the back. And that's what I'm worried about.
They leave a big hole. Oh, you're worried about that for Colombia?
That's what I'm worried about for Colombia. That's why, I could say that Uruguay. Oh yeah, and that's their flaw, right? They press. They play the exact same way. They're older. They're playing away in Uruguay. It's tough to play at Uruguay, but now they're playing at home. They play totally different at home. They play the same, but with a different engine. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No,
I feel like it's like they're V8. When they play at home, when it comes to their energy, their garra, they like to dirty the game. They still we got guys. Vidal is still there, bro. You know what I'm saying? Vidal still, que uno le mete un pelotazo a Vidal and he's still gonna score. Like that's
always gonna be a case.
Chile. That's the problem with Chile. They always come out pressing no matter what. And I think if we come out playing the way we started the first half, it could get choppy, bro. You don't think so?
I like.
We said at the same time. This reminds me of the last episode when we tied 2-2 over there, and we're like, we're gonna beat them 3-1, blah blah blah, and we almost lost if it wasn't for Falcao.
Yo, I dare they press, bro. I know Lorenzoneta will play better against the top teams in CONMEBOL or playing away. Why?
Facts.
Because
I agree.
Colombia's gonna have space to attack.
I agree.
Right? So people like Luis Diaz, like John Arias, like Cuadrado, they're gonna have space in the attack to use their speed to get into the box, and it's gonna pour goals. So I'm confident in Colombia for this match. Like Andy said, 3 points should be the goal and the expected outcome. But you never know with CONMEBOL. Like you said, guys like Vidal que they sweet talk the
ref. They sweet talk. Se tiran, foul, free kick, patada, PKs. Like, bro, they thrive off of that at home, and that's what hurts us every time. We always fall into that game against them. That's literally
patateo.
Claro, pa, chateo. No, mentira. Chateo es por allá. Virus.
Hey, but the speed thing is a very big factor, and it's going to be a perfect game for Luis Diaz, and it could also be a big Sinisterra game if they do decide to factor him in, like as somebody that's quick, that's direct like that. He could really be a game changer in a moment, and a team that has espacios, and if you get him in a good one too, papi, tengas it, because if Colombia is out with the speed that we have on the wings, it's going to be fun.
Bueno, les tengo unos datos.
Ay.
Cuenten.
Chile has not beat Colombia in qualifiers since 2008. But at the same time, Colombia has not won back-to-back games starting at qualifiers ever. They've never won. They've never started qualifiers with 6 points.
First time for everything, man.
Son datos y hay que darlos.
Hay que darlos. They verán. So I don't know. I think to me it's gonna be tricky. I think it's gonna come down to whether we come out playing from the back. If we come out playing well and playing our game and not letting them dirty the game, we're gonna be good. If we fall into the trap like we always do over there, except for that 31 win with James free kick, which was amazing. We played our game and we won. If we don't take care of business, it could be tough, man. It could be tough. Yeah, and it's gonna be a boring game. hope it doesn't happen.
I want to see this Colombian team in a physical game, though. I want to see what it brings out of them, like un poquito, see if you get a little bit of that edge from them, because this is all stuff you need. Like, what if se calienta un partido con Uruguay, con Argentina, Brazil, siempre se puede. Like, you want to see how they react in those moments, because you can't be out there getting bullied. And I know for sure that some players are going to be con una mentalidad like, nah, we're good with that.
Exactly.
Que empiecen a dar patadas. I'm cool with that, bro.
I feel like Colombia always plays to the level of their opponent. So, but I'm confident. I mean, history says this should end in a draw, right? But I'm confident. 3 points. 3 points. 3-0.
Ay.
Y Chile fuera del mundial. y los niños de
ya los eliminó hace rato, parce.
Y los niños de Vidal siguen durmiendo.
Facts. I saw that tweet. No, bro. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't know. Do you guys think we come out playing? How do you guys think we come out?
Like the formation or the lineup or what?
Everything.
I think it'll be similar. There might be a change or two, but I don't expect too much. I can see him going with Cuesta maybe over Mina and trying that. I can see maybe Uribe not being, but that could be just me trying to be optimistic, because we said that's the dude that he likes a lot. And it does depend if Cuadrado, how Cuadrado left that game, but I feel like somebody like Barrios could get a start. Somebody like Sinisterra he might put in from the jump, and it's somebody that he also likes. So I can see it being similar, not too much change. Obviously, with Lucho's a definite. I think the back line is pretty definite. Besides, if he does go with Cuesta, or if he goes with Mina, I don't think Davinson's really in the conversation. Or let's hope not right now. Pero el resto, like the same. Borré deserves to start. Of course, I've always been on this train from the beginning.
Run it.
Yo, hop on the train right now, man.
Run it.
Ya normal, lo mismo. But once again, I'd be interested to see this lineup with a creative midfielder from the start. So maybe Carrascal does get that goal right away.
Eddie, how would you line up though? Like if Lorenzoneta was not Lorenzoneta and it was the Deossa Neta, bro.
Oh, Deossa Neta, way. The back four, I'm going with the same back four that I gave you with Cuesta over Mina. I would probably give Lerma the start again. If Cuadrado's healthy, put him there on his side. Arias deserves that. Boom. Ahí está. And then I'm going, how many did I say already? Then I have to, you obviously go Lucho. I think Carrascal deserves to start, man. And for me, I'm beating on the Sinisterra drum.
So Cuadrado on the bench?
Yeah, probably. If he's not, like, he left the game at halftime, so that's still, that makes me believe, like Danny said, maybe it's an injury thing, or maybe it's like let's see what else we have, or it could be both. But you don't need to force Cuadrado on every game either. Like I said in the previous episode, he deserves to be the captain of the team. He deserved to, out of the old heads that we were theoretically talking about, he's the one that deserved to start the most. Pero tampoco se necesita ser titular en todos los partidos. Like, so I can see that being a feasible, change, and having him come in as a sub. And once again, he's another one of those players that he's going to give you some decent energy coming in the 60th minute with experience. He's a good piece to have. So I'm down with Sinisterra to see something different. Pero maybe Lorenzo's in his bag and it's like, yo, we already
from what we see, from what we know, I'm gonna keep it very simple. He's gonna come out playing the way he started the second half, with Carrascal and Cuadrado out and Arias on the out wide.
I could believe that.
Because if it's not broken, he likes the way he likes Barrios. We know Carrascal right now is the heart, is the connector in the middle. Arias was the man of the match. You can't take out, like, as much as I want to see Sinisterra in, you cannot sit down Arias at this very moment. Mm-hmm. Right now the dude is flying, he's providing, he's performing. Lucho's playing. Mina Cuesta, Davinson, but see, Cuesta was sitting down on the stands, bro.
Yeah,
so I don't even think Cuesta's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think it's either Davinson, maybe. I think the only switch might be Davinson, Luke, y Mina, and then Luke, me, Davinson. But to be honest, I wouldn't even touch the back. We were scoreless. You gotta leave it like that.
I can see the same back four. I can see that too.
We come out playing the same way we finished the second half. What do you think, Ron?
Same keeper, same back four. Yeah, we even mentioned Camilo Vargas, but he was solid.
I mean,
He wasn't tested much.
Yeah.
Same keeper, same back four. Lerma, Arias, Carrascal, and then up top would put Lucho, Borré, and Cuadrado. I would put Cuadrado.
Wait,
just for
I didn't
experience.
think about that. Lerma, Arias, Carrascal, and Cini.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. I had Cuadrado in there initially, but I was like, if we take him out, you could put Sinisterra still in that lineup. That's what I'm getting at. Lucho
And you still have Arias in, and you
you still have Arias. Yeah, that's the lineup that I would prefer right now, because especially we're talking about speed against a team like Chile que le da uno los espacios. Parce, that top three, téngase, agárrese, papi, porque van es de una. I would like to see that. I think the matchup suits Sinisterra for sure.
The matchup suits Sinisterra, but Cuadrado is a preferred choice for Lorenzo. So, and plus, like, you're facing a lot of veterans too. I think Colombia needs some more veteran presence.
And Chile's supposed to be having what's it called? Sanchez back.
Alexis Sanchez.
Nah.
Yeah, he's in Inter, bro. Hey.
Yes.
Relax, guys. Relax. I'm saying, bro. Both of y'all.
It's a crack.
Thank you.
Where are you guys watching the game?
En la house. Es así en la casa, parce. Está un martes juiciosito.
Where are you watching the game, Ron?
Bro, you tell me. Que hay para dañar.
Wait, ¿qué vos? Let's go to ¿qué vos?
I'll be there.
ATL, let's go. ATL.
You in Atlanta, pull up, man.
Pull up. Wait, ¿qué vos? Literal. Wait, ¿qué vos? They take care of us over there. Score predictions contra Chile. Score predictions, guys.
Guys, put your score prediction in the chat. We wanna see.
Yeah, score predictions.
What's going on? ¿Qué piensan?
I'm gonna go with the all reliable 2-1. I think I said 2-0 for the Venezuela game. It was close. I think y'all said 3-0, right?
You said 3.
Yeah. I'm still not fully like this team by golear anybody, but I think they can see definitely 2 fall. But I'm not against. I don't think they shut out Chile either. If that makes sense.
Yeah, they usually get theirs. They got theirs in Uruguay. They got those guys, those veterans, and they're good at putting pelotazos in dangerous areas, and they know how to clean up, man. That's what they've always done. Probability of statistically, it's a tie, so my gut says like a 1-1, but I want like the fan side of me and the way we played and the way I feel like if we move the ball around and we're able to, like, Uruguay, like, break those lines and have them chase us down, I think we could win 3-1. 3-1.
3-1? Damn.
Yeah. Last time we beat them, when we beat them over there with the James free kick, it was 3-1. When we went on that run to make it to the 2014 World Cup, it's 3-1 over there.
And last time we faced them was a 2-2. Lerma goal, Falcao, 90th minute stoppage time. I was remembering that goal, man. I remember that goal. Marica, it was emotional because everyone.
But you also said we were gonna destroy them over there and blah blah blah, and es que nos complicó.
I say.
I
was gonna say 3-1, but Danny already said it, so I say 3-0.
For real? For real? You're gonna say 3-1? We gotta write it down. Let's start writing it down before, and then just like, yo, bro. Let's write it down before, because we always say the same thing. It's crazy.
I say 3-0. 3-0.
Con la fe intacta.
Y Chile a dormir.
Chile a dormir. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be como Nacional y la América.
A mí.
Como el Nacional y la América. A mí, mira.
¿A qué hora voy a Cali?
Ahorita, en 10 minuticos.
He's like, wrap this up, man. Wrap this up.
10 minuticos.
I know Danny has to watch El Clásico Caleño. Andy has to go watch it. Much more exciting match.
The mighty Los Angeles Galaxy against the first place St. Louis City down in Carson, California. That's where I'm heading after I shut this stream down. So
How far are you from Carson?
I'm gonna say it in mileage. It's like about 13 because you can't ever put minutes on that in California. So it might take me an hour to get there. It could take me 20 minutes. We'll see.
All right, muchachos.
You know,
Thank
good
you,
luck, bro.
Andy,
Have fun, bro.
again for tuning in, man. Always
The
appreciate
honorary
your analysis.
parcero is not even a guest anymore, bro. Just he's a parcero now.
Oh, ya estamos en casa. Ya estamos con la camisa de
En
rojo.
casa.
Normal.
La del
Estamos
Cali.
cómodos. Estamos cómodos.
Y nada, muchachos, thank you for tuning in. This is Parceros Take, episode 24. All
Remember,
aboard la Lorenzoneta. Espérate, una vez más.
y sentados, like,
Okay.
are you guys like barely getting on? Are you guys
Ooh.
seated? Like, are we hanging on by the door?
Ya me quité los zapatos. Ya me quité los zapatos.
Yeah, I'm cozy too, bro. I'm cozy.
Yo, I recline my seat.
We cozy, bro. We
Yeah.
cozy. Remember, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back after probably Wednesday after the game. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for joining, Ed, Jonathan Diaz, Richard Pardo, and everyone that was involved in the chat. Remember to like, subscribe, follow us on all our platforms: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X. What is it? X?
X y Threads too. OnlyFans también tenemos por ahí.
El Only es para la camioneta. El Only es para la camioneta.
Y nada, muchachos, thank you for tuning in. See you guys after the Chile game.
La buena,
Saludos.
parceros.
Nos vemos.
Vemos.